Democratic Party weakness emboldens Trump. This is the Onward Opinion channel on YouTube. Glad to see that you're back, and I hope that you continue to watch these videos. The Trump administration has said it will close the border with Mexico, claiming that the Mexican government is refusing to stop undocumented people from crossing the border. We know that the amount of people crossing the border is down and has been down since before President Trump came into office. This anti-immigrant rhetoric is occurring in the wake of the Mueller investigation report that we haven't seen. We have an attorney general who put out a summary supposedly of the report that was hand-picked by Donald Trump, even though we have indications from the language that even he wrote that the charges of obstruction are legitimate, but the Mueller was planning, I believe, to have Congress look at it during an impeachment investigation, but Nancy Pelosi had already said before the report came out that she wasn't going to pursue impeachment because it would be too divisive for the country. We have a president who is breaking the law. We have a president who is imprisoning children and taking them from their parents, breaking all principles of international and domestic law. We have a gangster in the White House, and the Democrats are looking out for their own hides. They do not want to take the risk of a backlash that might come if they move toward impeaching Trump. So let him get away with this lawlessness. That's what they're saying. Nancy Pelosi is saying, let him go ahead, do this lawlessness. We'll fight you in 2020. In the meantime, people are being damaged, people are being hurt, families are being separated, and the principle has been set that you can violate the U.S. Constitution, you can violate American law, and if you're president, you can get away with it. The wealthy and the powerful can get away with doing what they want to do in spite of the law. This is Nancy Pelosi's fault. It's on her head. There's a basic principle of politics that you fight for what you believe, that you fight what is wrong. You don't act like Neville Chamberlain. And that's who Nancy Pelosi is acting like, Neville Chamberlain. During World War II, during the early stages, he was Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, Great Britain. And Hitler went into Poland, invaded Poland. He said, okay, Hitler, you can have Poland if you don't go any farther. And he actually thought that that was what was going to happen. Of course, Hitler ended up going all the way into what was then the USSR, Russia being the central nation of the USSR. Nancy Pelosi is doing the same thing on a smaller scale. She's allowing the criminal, Donald Trump, to politically get away with violating the Constitution. And I say politically because the remedy for his violations of the Constitution are political. They are impeachment. There's no law that says he cannot be indicted while he's in office, but the Justice Department has an opinion, which is an internal opinion, which could be changed, which says that he can't. That's why, most likely, Mueller has not acted. And it's this type of cowardice in the face of obvious crimes. We know that the Trump officials met with the Russians. We know that Donald Trump on national television asked the Russians to hack Hillary Clinton's emails after he knew that his own son had met with Russian officials. And this is not collusion. This is not conspiracy, which is the legal charge. You could make a state of mind argument clearly that it was. His lying about the meeting with the Russians, saying first he didn't know about it, and then that it was about children and their adoption, shows mens rea, which is a legal term for state of mind, that was bad, that had a criminal intent. That argument can be made. There have been so many behaviors of the Trump administration, from campaign finance violations, which are obvious, to trying to make deals to build a Trump Tower in Moscow. We haven't even gotten into the whole Crimea thing, where the Trump administration insisted that the Republican Party take the Russian invasion of the Ukraine off the table. The bottom line here is, though, you can't let this criminal continue to do these activities and not fight back. The Democratic Party has turned into a party of weaklings. We have some strong people there, and we have Democrats that have put motions and bills to start an impeachment process against Donald Trump. But the Democratic leader, Nancy Pelosi, has tried to kill them. Nancy Pelosi must go. Please, folks, on Twitter, use the hashtag Pelosi must go. We need a leadership that cares about poor people, that cares about immigrants, that cares about people who are out of work, that cares about corruption, that cares about the rule of law. Because clearly, Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Where's the Camera Schumer do not. We have to have a leadership that's willing to stand up against wrongdoing, against criminality, against evil. We don't have that now. It is time that we bring new leaders to the front who are willing to take the fight directly to Donald Trump and the Republican Party. This cowardly behavior by Nancy Pelosi must stop. And that's really all I have to say about it. This has to end. The Democrats are emboldening Donald Trump by not pressing him to the wall, by not starting impeachment proceedings. You build momentum for it. Politically, yeah, you may not have the votes now. It doesn't mean that you're not going to have the votes later. You do the investigations. You make it clear where you're going with this. There's plenty of evidence. There's plenty of grounds for it. You do this and you build momentum. That's one thing about Republicans. They are not afraid to stand up for what they believe. It's time that Democrats do the same. This cautiousness, this cowardliness has got to stop. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you don't like this video or didn't like this video, hit the like button twice. Please subscribe to the channel, and I hope to see you in the next video. Our country, the world, is being injured by the American president. Are we going to stand up and do what is right? Have a good day.